The hidden cost of living in Florida nobody talks about. That's what today we're going to talk about. Many people move to Florida because they believe life will simply be cheaper. They compare the price of a home in Florida to the price of a home in places like New York, New Jersey, or California. And on paper, Florida can look dramatically more affordable sometimes. But something interesting often happens once people actually live here. Because the true cost of living in Florida is not always obvious when someone first looks at the purchase price of a new home. There are a number of structural factors that shape the cost of owning property here. Some of these are well understood by longtime Floridians, but many people may be relocating from other states or even other parts of the state, only discover them after they've already purchased their home. Today, I want to walk through several of those hidden costs. Not to discourage anybody from living here in Florida, please don't take me wrong. I love it here. Because despite these realities, Florida remains one of the most desirable places to live in the United States. But understanding the structure of the market allows people to make much better long-term decisions. And when you understand the full picture, Florida can still be an extraordinary place to build a life. One of the first things many homeowners notice after moving to Florida is insurance. Insurance here operates very differently than in many other states. And over the past several years, premiums have increased dramatically in some areas. And most people assume this is simply because of hurricanes. But the reality is actually more complex than that. Florida sits at the intersection of several risk factors that influence the insurance market. Hurricane exposure is certainly one, but there are others as well. Construction costs have risen significantly in recent years. Rebuilding a home today is far more expensive than it was even a decade ago. At the same time, several insurance carriers have exited Florida, the Florida market. And when companies leave a market, competition decreases. And when competition decreases, pricing pressure often increases. Which means homeowners may see fewer policy options or higher premiums. For buyers, this changes the whole financial equation of home ownership. A home that appears affordable based on its purchase price may look very different once insurance costs are considered. That doesn't mean that Florida is a bad place to buy property. But does mean insurance is something buyers should research very carefully before making an offer. Another area where buyers sometimes encounter surprises is condominium ownership. Florida has a large number of condominiums. Many offer beautiful views, amenities, and a low maintenance lifestyle. But condos operate under a financial structure that many buyers are completely unfamiliar with. Every condominium association operates using two types of funding: operating budgets and reserve funds. Operating budgets cover routine expenses, things like landscaping, security, and utilities. Reserve funds are designed for long-term structural maintenance, roof replacement, elevator upgrades, concrete restoration, and other major repairs. When reserve funds are fully funded, these costs can be managed gradually over time. However, when reserves are insufficient, associations may need to issue something called a special assessment. A special assessment requires owners to contribute additional money to cover necessary repairs. Sometimes these assessments can be significant, which is why reviewing the financial health of a condominium, their association, is one of the most important steps a buyer can take before purchasing. Florida is well known for having no state income tax. This is one of the reasons many people relocate here. But local governments still need revenue to operate. Much of that revenue comes from property taxes. Florida also has something called the homestead exemption. For primary residents, the homestead exemption can limit how quickly property taxes increase over time. But buyers moving from other states sometimes underestimate how property taxes are calculated. Tax assessments, local millage rates, and exemptions all influence the final number. So understanding how these systems work helps buyers better estimate the true cost of home ownership. Florida's climate is beautiful, but also creates unique maintenance demands. Sun exposure, humidity, salt air near the coast, and frequent storms all influence how buildings age. Roofs may have shorter lifespans, Exterior materials experience greater wear, always. Air conditioning systems run nearly year-round. Pools require maintenance continually. Landscaping grows quickly. None of this is necessarily negative, but it does mean the long-term maintenance profile of a home in Florida can differ much from homes in cooler climates. But still, despite all of these structural costs, Florida continues to attract new residents every year. And there are several reasons for that. One of the most obvious is the climate. Florida offers something very few places in the continental United States can provide. Consistently warm weather throughout the year. For many people who have spent decades in colder climates, the ability to enjoy sunshine in January is life-changing. Being able to walk outside in winter, spend time near the water, and live in a place where outdoor life is possible year-round. Tremendous value. And that lifestyle difference is difficult to measure purely in financial terms. Another misconception about Florida is that it is primarily a retirement destination. And while Florida certainly has a long history as a place retirees love, that picture has been changing. More and more families are choosing Florida as well. One reason is the growth of master planned communities. Across Florida, there are now many neighborhoods designed specifically with families in mind. These communities often include parks, trails, playgrounds, pools, and gathering spaces. In many of these neighborhoods, it is still common to see children riding bikes, playing outside, and interacting with other families. For many parents who grew up in the 1980s and 1990s, that environment feels very familiar. It resembles the kind of neighborhood experience that many people remember from their own childhood. I mean, safety and community, they can play a major role in this environment. Many of these communities are intentionally designed to create connection between neighbors, sidewalks, shared green spaces, and community activities. Encourage interaction. And for families relocating from larger cities, that lifestyle can be extremely appealing. Education options have also expanded significantly. Florida offers a wide range of educational paths, including public schools, charter schools, private schools, and homeschooling. Some programs allow families to direct educational funding toward curriculum, tutoring, or specialized learning environments. For students with unique learning needs or advanced abilities, this flexibility can be extremely valuable. Florida also offers scholarship opportunities for students who pursue higher education within the state. Programs like these make college significantly more possible for many families. When you combine all of these factors together, insurance, condominium financial structures, property taxes, maintenance, lifestyle, community design, and education options, you begin to see why the Florida housing market is unique. And understanding these structural forces helps people make much better decisions, when buying a property here. Florida is not a perfect market by any means, but no place is. Every state has its own costs, advantages, and structural dynamics. The goal is not to find a place with zero challenges. The goal is to find a place where the lifestyle, opportunities, and long-term outlook align with what you want for your life. And for millions of people, Florida continues to offer exactly that. Sorry. If you enjoy learning about how housing markets actually work, especially here in Florida, this channel may be helpful for you. I spend a lot of time breaking down the trends, risks, and opportunities that affect buyers and homeowners and sellers. And if you're considering buying or selling property in Florida and would like guidance through the process, you're always welcome to reach out. I'm happy to help.